if you've been given rights as an author to the UK Values Alliance website by one of its administrators, then you should be able to actually put up posts in the blog section of the website. Now, once you've actually logged in, just go to the new feature at the top, and you can see that you've got the option of adding a new post or adding new media to the site, and you've got other permissions too to do with creating events. Now I'm just going to go to the post section, and you can see that as soon as you do that, a blank post is actually brought up. A facility for putting a title is actually put in at the top, and the main content goes into the big area in the middle. When you create a post, there are 3 or 4 key things it's got to have. It needs a title, it obviously needs some content, and you need to associate it with the various interest areas associated with the UK Values Alliance, so that when people have got interest in those areas, they can do searches by them, and they can bring up articles, including yours, that are actually linked into those interest areas. So you can, as I said, do this by just going to the website directly and clicking on new and then post, or if in your dashboard you can go to the post section, and under there you can click on add new, and that will bring you to the same place. I'm going to stick in a title here, and I'm going to just call it values-based education, for example, and then I'm going to just write a paragraph or two about this. Now, usually when you are writing and you're writing from scratch, you might not know which areas the article might be associated with, so it might not be easy to select those in advance. It's usually a good idea to really tick those boxes last, once the article's finished and you know what kind of content it actually has. I'm just going to write a sentence here. Oops. Yeah. Okay, so you can see that you can't actually choose necessarily the fonts that you're using here. To some degree, it tends to be of a particular format, but you can change how they look. The normal form that's put in is known as a paragraph look, but you can change it to other looks, like you can make a heading, for example, and we can change that. You can see it changes to that particular format. If you push Ctrl Z, that always undoes things on at least on a PC based system. If you want to highlight something and make it bold, you highlight it by double clicking on a word and then clicking bold, or you can drag, click and then hold down while you've, and then drag and let go over a word and highlight it that way, and you can make it italic, for example. You can change the colours by selecting the icon with the A and the underline on it, and you can give it a different colour. You can underline things, which is what this is about. Most people know what these icons are typically relating to, so I'm not going to spend too much time around those. But you might want to create a bulleted list, which goes list to 1, 2. Every time you want to create a new list item, just press enter, and when you want to make lists, you just take the click on the list item button again. You can use bulleted lists or you can use a numbered list. It does the same thing, and if you click on the item on the right, it gives you either normal numeric forms of listing, or you can use other approaches like alphabetical or Greek or Roman, for example. So in these instances, if I just click these, let me just see if it will change. There you go. You can see that's done it in Greek, alpha and beta. If I want, I can try changing that to Lower Roman, and you've got the I's that normally are used in those kinds of lists. I, 2 I's, and then it's 3 I's, and then usually I, and then a 4. So there's a variety of ways of doing list items. So that's how you do that. If you want to change the alignment, then you highlight the area or the line, just put yourself on the line with the cursor, click onto it, and then click on left align or center align or right align, and that allows you to position your text in that kind of way. You might want to indent it, which is the option here with a little arrow on the right, which just nudges it to the right. It's something that when you start typing, you can see everything is aligned to that new indent, and then when you're finished doing the indent, you can just click on the thing which takes you back towards the left as opposed to what you started with, which was to the right, and you can carry on typing. There are additional things that you can put on here, including a spell check in terms of the language that you're actually using. If there's anything that's not recognised in terms of spelling, it's underlined in red, and then you've got the option to correct it. So if I put in, for example, and if I click on it and right click on it, it gives you the option at the top of the different kinds of words that might possibly be, and have it corrected. Sometimes you want to add an image. Choose where you want the image to go by putting your cursor in the appropriate place. You can adjust alignment later on, but I'm going to just put it in here for now and select add media, and you can go to the media library, or you can upload an image and work with it that way. Here's some of the images that we've got already on the site, so I'm just going to select this one and insert it into the post, and you can see it's been put in there. You might want to scale it, you might want to do all sorts of things with it, and the way that you do that is if you just select it by clicking on it once, you'll see a little image icon there which allows you to edit the image. The delete image icon next to it is what you push if you don't actually want it, or you can just push delete on your keyboard and it does the same thing once it's been selected. So I'm going to edit that image. This doesn't edit the original image, it edits the image that's being posted in the article itself. Okay, so here you can see you can choose how you want text to be aligned around the image. If you don't want text to be aligned at all around the image, you just want it to be above and below and next to it, then you just leave it as none. You can have left alignment selected, where the image will stay on the left and all the text will wrap around it to the right. It can be put in the center, but there'll be no text on the left or right, or it can be on the right where the image is on the right and all the text is on the left wrapped around it. So there's various ways that you can do that. You can even create a link to the image as well if you want to, so that when someone clicks on it they go to another page. You can change the size of it. At the moment it's on 100%, but I can reduce it to say 60%, and you can see it becomes much smaller. So I'm going to leave that as I said. Under the advanced settings, you've got more precise options available. You can change the size in terms of width and height more precisely, and you can do other things to do with formatting. This isn't a section that you normally need to work on. It's really just for people who are a bit more advanced in their understanding of web design. They can come in and make changes here. Typically you're just going to use the functions other than the normal edit image section. Once you're happy with what you've got, let's just make this much smaller for the time being, 60%, and I'm just going to update that, and you'll see the image is being put to the right based on where it was at the time. So if I can literally drag that image anywhere I want and it'll right justify it basically. So you can see wherever I'm moving it, the text is moving in conjunction with it. Now I'm just going to take a lot of this out for the time being. I'm just going to put that image to the top just so that it's safe, and take this stuff out. And I think that's worth me actually having a look at to see how it appears on the main website. The thing I'm just going to do in order for me to view it is I'm going to just save a draft of it first so it doesn't get lost, and then I'm actually going to go and view it by doing preview. And you can see this is how it would appear in the website itself. The format is pretty universal. The article appears with a title, and it has social media links, it's got the content, and it usually lists the categories that it belongs to. You can go straight ahead and edit it from here if you want to. I'll just bring you back to the page, and I think actually I don't like it positioned where it is, that image. I'm going to actually move it to the left and update that, and I'm going to move it to the top here, and you can see the text rolls over, and I can carry on typing. So that's how you create a post, and it's important that to publish it and finalize it you really do associate it with a particular category. At the moment it's uncategorized. This is about education, so I'm going to look through and see if there's anything about education as an item. Yes, there is, so I'm going to select that. It's also something that is centered on the public sector as well, and local government perhaps, so I'm going to just tick those two boxes as well. And as a special tag at the bottom I'm going to just include something which is specific to this article, or I might actually just choose from an existing tag, and I'm going to talk about self-esteem, I think. You can see that item's been added, but I'm also going to stick in the tag of education, and maybe I'll also stick in a tag of exams. So just putting the word exams in there. There. Okay, so I think that's enough for me to finalize and publish the article. So what I'm going to do is just click on publish, and I'm going to go and preview the changes. You can see at the top left the post has been published, so I'm just going to preview that, and you can see the article is actually there. Now if I go to the blog section, you can see that this article is the most recent article that's been posted. I can do a search if I go to the home page, for example, and I could now put in the word exam, for example, and you can see because exam appears in this particular article, it actually shows up in the set of search results. Alternatively, I can go to the blog categories and choose a particular category that's associated with this. For example, I chose education, so you can see this one's been brought up, and you can see it's been associated with education and with exams, so that's the reason why it comes up in searches. So that more or less covers how you can go about doing a post, and how you assign tags, how you assign categories, and how the blog gets to be searchable once it's actually published.